Hi, my name is Anjiyoung and I'm from YCC, the Youth Cultural course. Our course is trying to tell our culture and history to foreign visitors who come to Korea. And I hope everyone who are watching this video can learn good things about Korea from me.
At the end of the 19th century, Joseon had two representative beliefs. The two were Cheondogyo and Daejongyo. Cheondogyo is a religion created by a Confucian scholar named 햔재까지. The first name of Cheondogyo was Dongak. The name Dongak, which means Eastern learning, is opposed to Seohak, which means Western learning. Dongak was founded as a question of the social situation in the second half of the 19th century when the exploitation of the ruling class led to the collapse of the rural economy and the rising consciousness of the invasion crisis of the capitalist powers. At that time, Joseon was in serious social turmoil and crisis. With the development of the commodity currency economy, the division of farmers was rapidly progressing and the political discipline was disrupted by the long-lasting rule of foreign powers, further aggravating the tyranny and exploitation of local government and land. In addition, natural disasters and infectious diseases have been repeated periodically, leaving the lives of farmers very impoverished. Social unrest spread further as the Joseon people rose up in various places, and with the invasion of China by Western powers, there was a growing sense of crisis over foreign powers and antipathy toward Western studies. In addition, various forms of anti-feudalist popular ideas such as militaria and Taoist ideology were spreading widely. Dongak advocated human equality and social reform on the basis of humanism, thus gaining the popular response that yearned for change in society. Dongak said, because man has the nature of heaven, man can be heaven and heaven can be man. And he emphasized that everyone, including himself, is as honorable as heaven, so we must treat people with reverence and humility as if serving heaven. This Dongak gave the people a new outlook for society and served as a popular resistance ideology against the ruling ideology of Neo-Confucianism. Dongak, unlike the Neo-Confucianism, which in 1905, Songbyeong-i, the third leader of the church, renamed it as Cheondogyo from Dongak. Cheondogyo people were greatly influenced by national movements to escape the Japanese colonial rule, including the March 1st independence movement, but failed to succeed and were greatly oppressed by Japanese. At that time, because Japan merged Taiwan and Korean Empire and enjoyed its heyday by winning both Sino-Japanese War and the Russo-Japanese War, Cheondogyo enjoyed its second heyday with the support of Japan by turning to a self-governing group to protect the autonomy of Koreans under Japanese colonial rule. They did not seem to know that Japan would attack the U.S. at the time, or that they would liberate Korea even if the U.S. beats Japan. On the other hand, members of the progressive group and others were involved in the scandal because they insisted on turning back to pro-Japanese activities. The members of the Cheondogyo section insisted on an intransigence with Japan, but there was no clear plan in Korea, so some of them entered Korea and joined hands with armed struggle. Next, I will tell you about Daejongyo. It is an indigenous religion founded by Lapcher in 1909. Lapcher, the founder of the great religion, he passed the state examination for the first time and received a government post as a tax collector. While he was in Japan, he jumped into a movement to save the country after he heard Ilsa Treaty was signed. After returning to Joseon, Lapcher failed to kill the traitor who helped to sign the treaty and was exiled. He was released shortly after, starting a campaign to save the country again, but did not achieve much. Daejongyo has a religious system that believes in honor. This religious system can also be found in the primitive beliefs of other people, but Daejongyo originated especially from the myth of the origin of our people, which is Tangun mythology. The basic doctrine is that human beings and cultures have occurred around Mountain Baekdu, and we believe in the theory of Samshin unity. Here, Samshin means Hwanin, Hwanung, and Hwanong. Hwanin is the god of harmony who rules the universe and all human beings. Hwanung is the god of enlightenment who came down to Mountain Baekdu to save the human world. And Hwanung is the first god of Jisan to establish the country. In other words, the great religion has the idea that the Korean people are descendants of God, and that the Hwanin is the heavenly father of our ancestors. The faith of Daejongyo can be summed up by striking out Sammang, practicing the three laws. Human beings have received three true things since birth. The three are heart, energy, and body. Nowadays in Korea, there are three big religions. Protestantism, Catholicism, and Buddhism are the three. Christians is the most popular religion in Korea, and according to a 2015 survey by the National Statistical Office, about 27.5% of Koreans are Christians. In the case of South Korea, there were about 1 million Protestants by the end of 1960s, but by the 1980s, it was the fastest increase in the world. During the past decade, the Christian population stood at 26.3%, compared with 29.2% in 2005. According to the National Statistical Office's announcement of a nationwide business survey in 2014, the number of Christian organizations in Korea was 55,767, far more than those specializing in snack foods and convenience stores in Korea. There are a total of 110,000 workers and 50,000 churches in Korea. Buddhism in Korea shows the universality of world Buddhism and the uniqueness of Korean Buddhism. It was introduced directly from India to Korean Peninsula, and it is the oldest religion except Samshin and forms the foundation of unconscious Korean mental life.